All right, good morning, everybody. The Iceman here on the Jeffrey Rose Iceman B2013 YouTube channel. And yeah, this is a regular video after having some live videos that were put up on my channel the last few days. Uh, all congested and whatnot this morning. I think it's because of the cooler temperatures and stuff. I do have allergies, but this video is about the great debate. And this great debate uh, we're going to be talking about is involving two people. But I do want to mention Will Ferrell, number one, Scott Casey Gale, a very good friend of mine here on YouTube. Please check out his channel. Um, he is very good friends with Vince Russo, part of my debate. And if you ever watch the show, they put it every week. It's totally awesome. So please check him out. Also check out Aaron Loves WWE and TNA. Aaron, a friend of mine, but more importantly, he's a friend of my nephew Matt's, and he had just recently put up a video, a rant on the YWC, basically talking about some people can just put up videos because of who they are and get, all these likes and all these views and whatnot. And he puts an effort into his videos, which uh, he tries to excuse me, he tries to make his videos as good as possible, and he doesn't think he feels he gets the recognition. And I know where he's coming from there. So check out Aaron Loves WWE uh, and Tina as well. Um, so the great debate. Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff. There's been a lot of talk going on. There's been a lot of bantering back and forth. And if you watch any of Vince Russo's videos, uh, they're very, very good. He is very what's the word? You can tell. Let's put it this way: you can tell by watching his videos. This man has nothing to hide. He's not making things up. He is just trying to get across to people. He's trying to just clear things up between the situation of what has been said by Eric Bischoff, and mostly Bischoff only usually says things if it's on a DVD documentary, or he tweets a lot of things on Twitter. Obviously, we don't see videos from Eric Bischoff, per se, like we do with Vince Russo, stating his claim. Um, but this is the thing about Vince Russo that I do like and I do respect. Vince Russo does a video, he talks about it, and just by watching his video, watching his demeanor, you could tell, man, it's coming from right here. He's speaking the truth. Um, Vince Russo, as we all know, was the head writer for the WWE in the Attitude Era days, um, and ended up leaving. Uh, Eric Bischoff was the president and the booker for WCW for many years, and he was involved in the NWO creation and everything else. And Eric Bischoff, very very much had a huge ego to the point where he wanted issues with the WWF at that time. He called out Vince McMahon on many occasions. And back then when it was actually happened, when it was happening live, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Um, I did say to myself, this is very unusual, because usually promotions don't call out each other or whatever. But because WCW was beating the WWF in the ratings at that time, Eric Bischoff felt that he could do anything he wanted to do, and he did. Um, Eric Bischoff blames Vince Russo for you know, the closing of WCW. I don't feel that's the case. I think a lot of the issues with WCW was the fact that NWO just was, you know, their only main concern, and there was a lot of talent that wasn't involved in the NWO, because if you weren't a Hogan and Nash or Hall and Bischoff, um, you really didn't get too far. This is why Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Malenko, Perry Saturn, they all left WCW because you know they weren't going to go any further than what they did in WCW, and they could have been huge stars if it wasn't for the creation of the NWO. But um, so Bischoff was so focused on the NWO, and he kept them in the limelight for so long. It started to fade like anything else does. It just people just started getting less interested in him, and once that happened, Eric Bischoff really didn't know what to do. Um, so eventually, WCW, ended up removing Bischoff, and they brought in the likes of Vince Russo. But the situation here was when Russo got brought in, everybody was so Eric Bischoff like. They were upset that Bischoff was let go, and of course Bischoff let everybody in WCW pretty much do what they wanted to do. And when Russo came in, it was like a whole new ball game, and people just would not listen or cooperate with Vince Russo, and that was part of the reason why WCW went downhill very, very fast. Um, it wasn't Vince Russo's fault. I think if Bischoff did not resent the fact that he was let go, and Vince Russo came in and maybe said to the people that he's been friends with for so many years, yeah, we got a new guy coming in. It's Vince Russo. Give him the respect and everything that you did for me. Maybe things would have been different. So there's just been a lot of issues between Bischoff and Vince Russo, and like I said, watching the Vince Russo videos sort of explains a lot, and you can tell by watching his videos the quality and the morality of this man, that he is telling us exactly how it was, and he shouldn't have to defend himself, in my eyes. I think anybody that was around in that era that watched both WCW and the WWF and saw exactly what was going on pretty much really knew the answer anyway, didn't need to hear it. And to this day, we're talking, it's been 14 years since WCW has been gone, and to this day, people still are disputing what had happened, and it's in the past. Much like everything else in the world of professional wrestling, it's in the past. People just don't know how to let things go. But again, so anyway, that's the great debate I was talking about, Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff. I would love for Eric Bischoff to do a video portion of his side, and let people comment and react to it. But yeah, he can tweet things out on Twitter. It's not the same thing. So anyway, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. Please like, please subscribe. Check out Aaron Loves WWE and TNA, and also check out Will Ferrell #1, both here on YouTube. Good wrestling channels, and this is what makes everybody else bigger. To be quite honest with you, when people come on and they make their channels and they look to see who is pretty big here on YouTube, and what they do is they subscribe to them, and it's people like them and me that make the bigger channels even that much bigger. So anyway, so peace out, everybody. Have yourself a great Saturday. I'm looking to do another live hangout possibly tonight, hopefully, or get involved in one. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll see y'all next time. Have a great, great Saturday, everybody.